Hello, my name is Oliver and I'm a 20-year-old minimalist from England. Becoming an off-grid minimalist has had its issues, so today I'm going to be telling you guys about the issues I've had to overcome, as well as that I'm going to be showing you guys everything I own. And furthermore to this, I'm going to be describing to you the best ways that you could be living within your means. So before I get into this video, if you guys would like to see more of this content and you enjoy this content, then please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and a subscribe to the channel, because that would really help a lot. If you guys have seen any previous videos on this channel, then you know when I was 17 years old, I was actually made homeless, which meant I had to pack up all my belongings into my old Peugeot 206, and I lived in that for the best part of a year. So when I finally moved into the all-female household that I once lived in, I was able to bring out everything that I owned, and I realised I did actually own quite a lot of stuff. Got in here, you know, just doing stuff as it is. I got that there, I've also got stuff in there. Need to do this and slowly but surely getting it wibbly wobbly done. So whilst living in the shared house, I was paying £500 a month for rent for this one room, which I didn't really enjoy. So when I bugged off travelling for 10 days whilst living there, it opened my eyes and realised that I could literally live out a rucksack. I didn't need a lot of stuff. So when I came back, I decided to give up the room in the shared house I was in, and I moved into a storage unit. Anyway, today I am moving into a storage unit. And you may ask why? Why am I moving into a storage unit? It's not that I've had issues with money. Well, I have a little bit. It's a much cheaper way of rent, and I haven't really enjoyed being in a property. So for the next 2 months when I lived in a storage unit, I buckled down and I was working 7 days a week as a delivery driver, and I piled up quite a lot of money whilst paying £90 rent for the storage unit, which led me on to finally being able to buy my first van, my old Renault Kangoo, which I absolutely loved. However, I did have so much stuff left in the storage unit that I needed it somewhere to go. So I piled it all into my Peugeot 206, and I parked up my Peugeot 206 for the best part of half a year with all my stuff in. This is just my bedding. Yes, still got all of that to do, and my car's already full. I didn't actually miss any of the stuff. I didn't need any of my stuff. So over the course of 2018, I owned quite a lot of vehicles. At one point I even owned 5 vehicles. I was buying and selling cars here, there and everywhere to make a bit of money, whilst my Peugeot 206 was sitting there with all my belongings in, whilst I was living in a van, being able to travel, being financially free. So when I finally arrived back in the area after I'd gone up north, gone to France, gone here, there and goddamn everywhere, I didn't need the car and I didn't need any of my stuff, so most of my stuff actually went to the tip. And that was hard because a lot of that stuff is from my childhood. When I was finally able to get all my stuff out when I moved into the shared household, it was like a 16-year-old's bedroom, and I was 18 at this point. I hadn't lived in a house for a year, and this was all my stuff that I owned. So it was like setting up something, a blast from the past, and I knew I didn't need a lot of it. So a lot of it did actually go for sale in the times while I was getting rid of the Peugeot 206, and my stuff ending up going to the tip. It hurt because I was stripping away quite a lot of my childhood. I didn't need the stuff. I was living in a van, and the van was compact with stuff anyway. And it was hard for me because I loved the stuff. The stuff had meaning. It was my stuff from my childhood. Not everything's gone, but it was stuff from my childhood that I had and I loved. But realistically, do you really need these clothes you haven't worn in 5 years? No. Did I really need the Diary of a Wimpy Kid book selection? No, in fact that went off to an autistic child who loved the bones off of it. When I was trying to sell it, I was at the market and a kid came along and wanted it, and I gave it to him because I didn't need it anymore. So by the end of 2018 I didn't actually have quite a lot of stuff. The van was still jam-packed, but I didn't have a lot of stuff. But around that time the van broke down, which wasn't great, because I was living in it. So I was parked, living in my van on the side of a road for a good few months. Now in this time, if you hadn't seen on Facebook, I actually had a second storage unit series go viral, and that's when that was filmed, when the van was broken down, because I didn't need to be living in the van because I couldn't even drive it. In fact, I didn't drive for a good 7 months, which is actually a bit strange. So when I ended up getting contacted and doing a talk on stage and got given a big check of £1,000, I decided to invest that money and I bought my Fiat Panda right here. So just before I bought the Fiat Panda, I was renting a garage. I was living in the garage for the best part of a couple of weeks, still living the off-grid lifestyle, the homelessness lifestyle, and I was a minimalist because I couldn't look after all my stuff. But by the time I bought the Panda, within a couple of weeks, the van was gone and I had a caravan. Unfortunately, the caravan for me is too big. And I still live in the caravan now, but it's a lot too big. Because I don't enjoy the size of the caravan, I don't enjoy being there, which means I keep all my precious belongings in the car because I live practically out of my Fiat Panda as it is. I spend little time at the caravan, I only use it for sleep, I keep all my clothes in here, I keep everything I use in here. I don't have a lot of stuff, so should we have a look what I actually do own, because it all fits in the boot of a Fiat Panda. Now, starting at the top, we've got something simple like a basketball. I love this £4 basketball. It's not much, but it's mine, and I'm able to go to the park, go to somewhere with a basketball court, and just shoot some hoops, just have a bit of fun with my life, have some exercise, and it's a really good way of stimulating your brain, and you can think while you're playing, whilst you're focusing. It's a great experience, and I absolutely love basketball. Now, alongside the basketball, we have the skateboard here, and I love skateboarding. I bought this skateboard back in 2015 and I use it probably weekly at the moment. I used it for travel while I wasn't driving. In fact, the skateboard has been to a lot of countries with me. The skateboard doesn't take up a lot of space, not at all. So when I go to town, if I need to get through town pretty quickly, I usually whip out the skateboard and go straight down the streets because it's such an easy thing to do. This definitely has meaning in my life. When you've got nothing to do, it's great to be able to pull out a skateboard and just have a ride. Not everyone is going to enjoy basketball or enjoy a skateboard, and that's fair enough, but it's something that I love and I enjoy with all my heart. And on those rainy days when you're not able to skateboard or you're not able to play basketball, you've got a ukulele. Well, I've got a ukulele. It's not actually in tune this very second, but let's just add a clip here in of me playing it. I'm not the best at the ukulele, but it's something I'm thoroughly enjoying right now. I don't own a games console or anything like that. Most of my life is projected outdoors and with entertainment. None of it is connected to a screen, and that's why I enjoy these three things. It's my entertainment. But I do also own a morph suit for those days that I'm feeling a bit ambitious. Now, I'll be honest with this gas stove. It's probably the thing that is less me living within my means. I've bought it so I'm able to cook because at my caravan I have no running water or electricity. So I have bought it for reasons. I have bought it to cook. However, it's not living within my means because I own one already. This is actually the second one I own. I bought one from the market for £1 last year. However, that is currently not with me at the moment. So I bought another one. Realistically, I possibly could have gone and got my other one. This wasn't living within my means. Now, I've recently been sent this. It's a camping shower and it was sent to me by the Phantom Stag. And I've used it a couple of times. It heats up in the sun and it's my way of having water. And I'll tell you something, living the minimalist lifestyle is great and all, but realising how much water you use it's astonishing. This is a great shower when it's full, and the shower probably lasts about 5 minutes when I could be in a normal electric shower for 20-30 minutes. I don't need to be. Further down from all these things, right here is my clothing. So my clothing's a bit different. Right here is where I keep all my clothes. It's my cupboard, practically. As you can see, I've got t-shirts and jumpers and got everything. And it's all nice and neatly rolled up because you can fit more in. But my clothing isn't me living within my means at all because I own too many clothes. Yes, this is a bag full of clothes, but I probably own about 20 t-shirts, and I know I don't need 20 t-shirts, and I've already cleared out a lot of t-shirts and clothing that I own. I've got rid of pairs of trousers, quite a few t-shirts, and I know I still have too many. However, I do keep it all in my travel bag, so I can literally whip this out and, well, bugger off whenever I want, in the nicest terms. So as well as all the clothing, and all this is actually dirty laundry which I've just got hanging around in the car, I've actually got my laptop in this bag here. Whenever I go out, I take my laptop. In fact, I never leave this in the caravan because the caravan has been attacked quite a few times recently, 3 or 4 times now, where I've had people try to break into it or things ripped off the caravan, which I'm not really enjoying. So I keep all my valuables with me for safety precaution. And it doesn't even take up a lot of room in the car. And finally, I bought this chair here. This chair cost me £6 and I bought it for a camping trip I went on recently with Curtis. I love it. It's my first seating outdoors, and I probably don't need it because I can sit on the floor, but it's nice to own and it's very, very comfortable. Whereas I don't own a lot of stuff, a lot of other minimalists do actually own quite a few things more than me. Some minimalists live in houses and others are off-grid like me. It doesn't matter how you live, it's about living within your means, and I'm going to tell you the best ways that you can live within your means. Being a minimalist and living within your means doesn't mean you can't own 50 pairs of shoes, because if all those shoes have a purpose, then I don't see what's the issue. If you've got shoes for running and you do a lot of exercise, then great. And if you've got shoes for the day, that's completely fine. And if you've got your going out shoes, then that's also great. You don't need lots of pairs of shoes unless they've all got meaning. And if you are trying to declutter your life and you want a quick way of doing it, then look at the objects that you've got, and has that given you satisfaction? Has that given you happiness in the last couple years? Sure, you may find something and it brings back the nostalgia from 6 years ago, and that's what happened when I revisited some of the stuff I owned when I was 16 years old. It was the nostalgia that I loved, but it didn't bring me joy. In fact, it brought me nothing near joy. I enjoyed owning the stuff then, but it doesn't mean owning it now. Decluttering your life is owning everything with a satisfaction. Everything should have a purpose. And if you find something and you don't need it, then why own it? And on that note, I believe I should probably end this video. I hope you guys have enjoyed it, and if you'd like me to go into depth a bit more about living within your means and being a minimalist, being an off-grid minimalist to be precise, if you guys would like to hear more about that, then let me know. I don't mind going over things about being a minimalist, like from social media or even the apps on your phone, because lots of them are miscellaneous, and I could tell you the ones that you do most certainly need and the ones that you don't. So thank you for watching this video. If you have got this far, then make sure you have clicked the like button. If you're new to the channel, then please make sure you are subscribed, and I shall see you guys in the next video. Have a good evening and have a good day, have a good night wherever you are. Goodbye.
I was never the one to write up a song for just anyone. I was always the one to find myself lost in all conversations. Oh, 'cause I've always been told that things will unfold.